In this video, we're going to start to take a look at including a navigation bar, the Bootstrap Navbar. So to start off, we're just going to have a nav element with a class of navbar. Then we're going to go navbar -default. And what we can actually do is do an inverse navbar. We could have a black background with white text, but we're just going to start off with a grayish background and black text. And we're also going to set this to be a navbar fixed top, so that when we scroll down, the navbar will always be at the top of the page. So that allows for easy navigation of the site. And close that off. Now in here we're going to have a div with a class of container -fluid. Close that one off. Then we're going to have a div with a class of navbar header, navbar -header. Then in here we're going to have a button, and this button will allow us to open and close the navbar, or the little drop down navigation when we're on a tablet or a smaller device. Put type button and class of navbar -toggle. It's probably a better way of putting it. It'll allow us to toggle the navigation bar when we're on a smaller device. So data toggle collapse, and the data -target will be main navbar. Now, inside this button element, we're going to put some span elements, and I'm going to do this quickly using the Sublime text plugin, Xampp. So class, we put our attributes inside the square brackets and their values. Icon bar. Then I want 3 of these, so ×3, tab, and there we go. We have 3 span elements with a class of icon -bar. Then we're going to put a little link down here, and this will be our main home link, if you like, with the name of the site. So navbar -brand, the site branding. This is going to say the design store. Right, so now that we've got that implemented, under our navbar header, we're going to have another div with a class of collapse and navbar -collapse. I'm going to give this an ID, and this ID has to match this in here, this data target. Sorry, that should be main, not man. And the ID is, as you guessed it, main navbar. Has to match that one to be able to open and close, or collapse and close the navbar respectively. And we're going to close off this div. Then in here we're going to have an unordered list, a class of nav and navbar -nav. Now in here we're going to have a set of list items and anchor elements within those list items. So we want a set of list items, we want 6 of them. So just do it like that. Then inside we want an anchor element, and I'm just going to put in these IDs that don't exist as of yet, but they'll exist a little bit later on. Call this one home. Call this one services. This one's testimonials. Testimonials. And this one's team. Then we want one for a portfolio. And one for contact. So there is our basic markup for our navigational bar, or our nav bar. So let's save this and check it out in the browser. As you can see, we have a nice kind of nav bar. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. So we have our list items displaying in the nav bar and our branding, the design store. Looks quite nice. And there we go, there's our little button to collapse and decollapse, if you like, the navbar contents.